So Thelonious Monk picked him up. He sort of saw Miles. There's an apocryphal story where Miles Davis, who was short in stature but large in personality. There's a story that says John Coltrane just was not together at all, and Miles Davis, who was a little shorter than John, started hitting him, saying, "Getting it together," and he just started slapping him in the face. And John Coltrane was just like, and so Miles Davis just walked away, and Thelonious Monk said, "All right, I'll hire you." So Thelonious Monk became really his second teacher of how to really get inside a piece and really emit spirituality within a piece.
And then when did he start getting into more Indian and Eastern music?
So that was, he called all that music exotic music. He called it folk music. And it was really after the spiritual journey that he began in 1957. And his thing was unity. His thing was trying to get everyone and connect everyone together. And he believed that if he would get to the, quote, folk music, then he would get to the elemental building blocks of being human. And that was just something that he really explored. He explored Indian music, ragas, a lot, and he explored just extended music that, with Love Supreme, after that came these more extended sort of free jazz. The new sound is what it was called. And he really encouraged people like Archie Shepp and Bill Dixon and Albert and Donald Eiler and these people who, and Pharoah Sanders, of course, who may not have had such a platform because it was difficult music. John Coltrane became really their mentor of really moving this kind of free expression into a concert or a club setting.
What else are we going to hear?
Okay, so let's talk about Love Supreme first. Did anybody grow up with Love Supreme or heard it? A couple people? One guy? Great, thanks for coming. That's lovely. Do you guys know it or not yet? Okay, just joking. So I just want to say a statement. When he was coming out of his into his spiritual journey, he wrote, "I think that the majority of musicians are interested in truth. They've got to be, because saying a musical thing is truth. If you play a musical statement, and if it's a valid statement, that's a truth right there in itself. If you play something phony, well, that's phony. So in order to play truths, you got to live as much truth as you possibly can." So that link of living and playing, he was a vegetarian, and he was, after a lot of his trouble, he really had the opportunity to help inspire other people to live, quote, right, and to apply that to his music as well. So, by the way, just if anybody's into the mystical tradition, it's probably the same guy. Anybody? So there's a whole trope of the musical tradition of being, mystical tradition of being visited by nighttime visions. Certainly in the Jewish tradition, in the Kabbalist tradition, there were the people who would help steer and write books for them, because that's what we do. For him, John Coltrane had a vision of Charlie Parker, which is pretty great. And Charlie Parker, according to the story, would look at him and said, "You're on the right track," which either through his music and through his cleaner living, so that was very interesting. So on December 9th, 1964, he brought a quartet, he brought 3 other guys, his quartet, into a studio in New Jersey, and in 4 hours knocked out a Love Supreme. And one of the songs, Acknowledgement, which is the first cut, was done in 1 take. And that to me is real music. I've been in studios where you just kind of overdub and do stuff, and you'll do that, right? And so just to sort of sit there and say, "This is what I want." There's a debate whether or not they had real charts or anything, and he said, "This is what I'm doing," and you'll hear Christopher with a which actually is expanded throughout the entire 4-movement piece. The second one, you can hear it on your own. You heard it when you came in. We're going to play the 3rd movement of it. It's called Pursuance, and I'm going to leave out my part. I want you to hear these guys because they're really incredible musicians. Again, William Menafield, piano, Christopher Thomas, and Vernon Temple.